Welcome everyone to the Crow's Nest podcast. This is the episode 7th, if I remember correctly. This is
Yep.
Evok,
TDZ.
and today we don't have any guests.
Yep, it's first week of school for me, so pretty busy all week and last minute trying to get this going, so couldn't really schedule a guest this weekend properly.
Yeah, and like at work personally, I got more responsibility this week. So it's basically kind of like SHL took a little bit of the side during the week like the work hours, so I could not plan anything either.
Yeah, I mean, wasn't even on that much this week because I have school so much.
Yeah, so like it's basically life, and life is restarting for everyone.
Alrighty.
So today we're gonna start with the question right away. So we have Blues fans 55 asking us, why do you love the NHL team that you like? Do you want to start, TDZ?
I can. I'm a Penguins fan. Most people know that by now, especially by the all the Letang signatures. I'm sure that stands out. We get hated, which is always great.
Well, winner gets hated all the time, so.
Yep, they hate us because they ain't us. I started liking hockey in 2007-ish, 6-ish, somewhere in there. It was like 2006. And it was right after Crosby got drafted, but I didn't know anything about all that anyways. My buddy was a huge Red Wings fan, and I think the first game that I was watching with him was Red Wings Pens, and I was like, I'm rooting for them. Just because fuck you kind of thing. And it stuck. And now, I mean, I love them. There's so much history there, good and bad. Mostly good lately, thankfully.
Yeah, like 2 cups in a row, and still a strong squad, so you could maybe have a third.
I would like to do that,
That would be quite impressive.
Islanders of the 80s, kind of Canadians of the 70s, get 4 in a row kind of thing.
Yeah, like what's making it really hard now is the salary cap that it didn't have before.
Yeah.
But like it's still totally doable in my opinion if you get the right player at the right time.
And we have a habit of just magically calling up these nobody youngsters that play amazing.
Yeah, who was it this year? Like I think you had
Gensel.
a few. Which one?
Jake Gensel.
Yeah, that's true.
It was Connor Sheary the year before.
Well, and you had Matt Murray.
And Matt Murray coming out of nowhere.
Yeah, like, to be honest, before last year, last year, the first cup win, I didn't even know that guy, and I follow goalies, so I was like, okay, this is, maybe I should go back in my, learn more about the games right now.
Yeah, I mean, well, he came out of nowhere in AHL, but he was down there for quite a while, so
yeah.
Pens fans knew who he was, but unless you watched a lot of AHL games or you were a fan of the team, you probably didn't know.
Yeah, I pretty much follow the NHL goalies and a few of the really good AHL one, but, it's still hard to get every one of them on your radar.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Penguins really strong. Could go for a third one.
We can always hope. Or everybody else won't, but I hope.
On my part, for my NHL team, I'm a Habs fan. I mean, everyone at this point know I'm also in Montreal, and I'm French, so it does kind of give some cues. But how do I became to like them is pretty much just that I grew with them. My family, especially my grandfather, was really fan of hockey. He was always watching the games until he could not anymore because he got a heart condition and the games was actually stressing him too much for real. and he could not watch them anymore. But like before that, he was always watching them. So like, I just grew with them. After that, in my teenage, I just stopped watching hockey overall before coming back in like 2014, I believe. And since then, I can proudly say I do like hockey. So before that, like before 2014, like I was a big soccer fan, especially during the time Spain was really, really strong in soccer.
David Villa, I remember him.
Yes, and Iker
David.
Casillas. So, like, they were really, really strong during that time that I was watching soccer. So, I was following Spain at that time. It was really great.
I watch every World Cup, but I don't really follow it outside of that too much.
I was watching, like following the Major Soccer League, MSL, MLS.
MLS, yeah, Major League Soccer.
Because in French it's always different.
Yeah. I thought about getting into that a little bit. I don't watch the sports that I like more enough as it is, much less trying to get into a new one.
Yeah, that's true. Like, if you just don't have the time anyway, well, it's on. Like, my current, like, director at work is really, really a big, like, local team fan, The Impact. And so I don't even have to follow it to know what's happening.
Exactly.
So it's really funny. Like, I know if they won or if they lose just by his mood in the morning.
That is how it is down here with football.
Yeah, that's true. Football can be really strong too in some regions.
Yeah, tomorrow is going to be stressful.
Really?
Yep. Week started this week, and tomorrow's got some big games.
Oh, so that's going to be interesting.
Yep. FSU versus Bama, 3 versus 1. Not looking forward to it.
I have absolutely no clue where this is actually, what those two are.
University of Alabama and Florida State University.
Oh, okay. So, yep. Like everyone like talk about college, like football, hockey, everything, and I'm like, I have no clue what all those acronym means.
Yeah.
Like, it's just random letters with a lot of U's.
There's a lot of use, yeah. It's more just learning it from using it kind of thing.
Okay.
And you'll start to know a couple of them just out of, like, obviousness. Like, NC State, it's North Carolina because there's no other state that has an NSC.
Okay.
It's just stuff like that. So you learn some. Others, it's just using it more.
Maybe one day I'll get into it too. I still don't know. I have problems.
Yeah. It's great.
Like, I already have, like, followed so many leagues because here, like, especially for the hockey, like, here I follow the Canadian League, the junior team. And so it's a lot of team as well.
Yeah, I follow we have the SPHL, which is like the Southern Professional Hockey League down here, which is really, really low on the totem pole, but it's still professional hockey technically, so it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I have, like, not junior, we have a league called the North American League, I think, or something like that, and, like, every time I read review about it, it's like, yeah, it's only goon show. And I'm like, that doesn't sound interesting.
I think this is above that, and it's a little bit more professional than that, because there's fights, but there's not that many. I've been to plenty of games where there's been none.
Oh, that's good then. So.
But I've been to some games where it's been like 5 fights.
Oh my god, 5 fights. Land brawl, let's go!
Well, no, they're all one at a time, and like one dude got in 3 different fights before he finally got ejected.
What? Really? Wow.
Yeah.
If I was a ref, 2 fight would be like, okay, you're out, bye. Like, even one, it's like, sometimes it's like, well, maybe you should not fight. Oh well,
Right.
like, professional athlete sometime.
Yeah, basically.
Next question.
Alrighty. What are your thoughts on the playoff picture? I'm guessing he's talking about juniors.
Well, that's what I'm guessing too. Let's go see what it looks like right now. If the playoffs started today.
Detroit and Montreal missing out. Detroit by 1 point.
Oh, that's hurt. So, we're in the middle of the pack in third. You're fifth. So you're starting to get a little bit more traction after a bad start.
Yeah, I mean, not having our goalie fully updated didn't help. So that's kind of why that differential's a little lower than it should be. And probably cost us like maybe 1 or 2 wins. I'm not going to say it cost us like 4 wins or some shit like that, how many games he was out, because we probably would have lost some of those still. But, 1 or 2 wins, we could have had more. So I think we'd probably be around 4th.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Or 5th. Probably be in the same spot, honestly. Even 1 more win, we're still behind Prince George, so it's not like it would change much. The standings are so close as is, other than Montreal.
Well, even Montreal can be kind of close of Detroit. Like, I mean, Montreal is 5 points away of a playoff spot, so it's not the end of the world to do.
Yeah, but it's also 12 games left. So
yeah,
they've been trending downward, and they've made a bunch of trades to just go in for a rebuild.
To go more downward.
Yeah.
It's still not as bad as Halifax last year, but it's close enough. Oh man, Halifax last year. It hurt me.
I mean, when you only have 2 non-rookies, what do you expect?
Yeah, like, it was expected, but it still hurt every time I think about it.
And I think one of those was like a goon.
Well,
Trucker Grogan.
It was not that much a goon, but it was a really, like, I think it was high-checking defenseman, so... But it was scoring, like, helping a lot on the, like, scoring, like, with assists or goals.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so my thoughts on that playoff picture. Everything can go anywhere, pretty much.
Yeah, basically.
So it would be Vancouver and the Mammoths that get the byes. If I remember correctly, so 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Which would make sense. I mean, like, they keep going on their high stride of last year, where both did the final. So I would not be surprised to see them get there.
Yeah, I could see any of them 2 or you making the top 2.
Yeah,
Prince George with the lucky streak, because they seem very streaky to me, where they'll win a bunch, then lose a bunch. And I think they could, if they get the right streak at the end, could sneak in.
Yeah, sneak in the... Well, they actually really, like, lose and win a bunch. Wow, okay.
Yeah.
I'm just watching at their game, it's like 3 lose, 2 win, 4 lose, 2 win. And then you have...
so streaky with them.
Yeah, and then you have, like, toward the end, 4 win, 4 lose, 4 win, 1 lose, which is the last match. It's like, wow, okay. So you want the right streak at the end, not the losing one.
Yeah, get hot right at the right time.
Except for that Kelowna, I'm pretty, like, neutral about them. Like, I don't... Do they have a superstar or something in their scoring? I don't even think
Izzy
so.
and Nor.
Izzy. Yeah, Izzy and Mercer Church, actually.
Oh, yeah. Him too.
No, he's not that high. He's actually only at 21 points.
Yeah, he's been colder this year. Andre Shrek is their top D, and Shira Bakov is one of their other top ones.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Yeah, it's really easy. That helped a lot with their scoring.
Yeah, he's getting a bunch of goals.
17. Well, they could be surprised, like a dark horse kind of thing, because we don't hear that much about them, to be honest. So, like, for me, they kind of are just there. Like, there's nothing about them to make fun of. There's nothing amazing about them. So
yeah, it's basically it. I mean, they have the least goals against right now, but it's only like 4 below us. and we're only one below two teams who is one below another team, so it's really close except for Montreal's differential, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
And another problem. Ooh, excuse me. Another problem is we can't score at all. We're so far behind in goals for.
You're only at 19. Like, you're
Or
actually
90, yeah.
the worst team, tied with Montreal.
Yeah. If we could get something going, I think we could make a run. But we can't find chemistry for some reason.
Your best scorer have 25 points.
Well, we have a lot of, like...
Yeah, 24, 5, 24, 24, 24, 20 with you. So, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's been weird.
Well, I hope you guys can find something toward the end of the season to, like, catch up.
Yeah, I mean, as long as we make the playoffs, then we have a shot with STHS, so...
Yeah.
It's all I'm aiming for right now, because don't think we'll get enough points to make a bye by the end of the season. I mean, there's possibility, but it's just really hard.
Yeah, but it's always like this. This is the one frustrating thing with, like, simulation. Like, there's nothing you can do. You just have to sit there and watch, pretty much.
Yeah.
And, like, it's so frustrating, like, because if you were the player, like, you would be working your ass off, like, trying to get better every day, like any competitive player. But here it's just like, well, I do PT once a week, weekend fun time on the weekend, and I sit here and I wait.
Well, all that's capped anyways, so it's just like, I can't do anything.
Like, even when you're capped, like, actually that's another point, like, we're both capped. Like, even if I do all those training, all those things, it's like, I'm not getting better right now. Like, yeah, I have to watch and hope, pretty much. Which is frustrating.
It is. But it's part of the game, and it adds a little bit of fun to it, not knowing what's going to happen.
It depends. Like, when it's going well, it's fun. When it's not, it's like, come on,
That's
you
how
can
it
do
is.
better.
That's how it is in anything, though, even if it's a real sport.
Yeah. Like,
all right.
It's hard. It's hard.
Next up, he asked early Rookie of the Year predictions.
Oh yeah, I was looking. Jack Tainer, I think.
Yeah, I think he's up there. Yeah, I mean, he's got 21. Nylander's got 20.
Oh, so he's full close by Nylander, but, like, being... I don't know what position Nylander's playing.
I think he's a winger.
What is he? He's PFG? PGF? Whatever?
PGF, yeah.
Okay, let me check. Well, yeah, I'm always confounding them. So this guy, who's this guy? Nylander is a defenseman as well. Okay, so now that's
nice.
interesting. So it's a defenseman race, pretty much, at the end of the season. But I think probably Jack Tainer might have the hedge for the goal difference. Like, I mean...
Yeah, I mean, 7 goals is pretty big.
Yeah, for a rookie defenseman, so that's quite impressive.
Depending on what happens with some of the other people, I mean...
It could go fast, like...
Yeah, Banana Storm's only, like, 3 points back, and he has 11 goals.
Oh, that's true. Like, anyone get a hat-trick in those, and that pretty much rockets you to the top.
Yeah, I mean, there's a good 6 of them that are within 3 points of each other, and I think it could be any of those. But I have to agree, I think it's going to be Tanner or Nylander.
Yeah, one of the two defensemen. Like, it's always, in my opinion, more impressive to see them perform that well on their team, especially since they could be playing, like, I don't know what line is playing Tanner, but he could be playing, like, 2 or 3rd line, so... let me go see Tanner, or maybe he's playing first pairing, I don't know.
Tanner is second pairing.
Okay, so, like, it's...
But 35%.
So, not really?
Yeah, and...
I think
Nylander's playing 50% for PGF.
Okay, so you see this as a big difference. But I
Yeah.
think Tanner is on the power play. Yeah, he's on the power play as well.
Um.
Uh, and the
So is
penalty
Nylander.
kill. Okay, so like Nylander have a big difference with the amount of time played compared to Tanner. So Tanner, it's more impressive when you look at the stats.
Yeah, I think so. But they seem to come down to who has more points a lot of times. So.
Which is something I find really sad.
Yeah.
Like,
So
you should
we'll see
take
what happens with it.
consideration plenty of things. There's a
It
lot.
could really go either way.
Yes. And I guess the last question is more for you because I'm not in a situation where I can answer. But he's asking, Bluesfan is asking, am I the best locker room guys ever? I sure am.
I mean, you answered it for yourself, bud. So I don't really need to. I mean, I'd say, you're so enthusiastic. You love the team, so, you got to be one of the best. I'm not going to alienate people by saying someone's definitely better than the rest. Dizzy's up there with you. I think Trella's definitely up there. So
you can say he's a good one.
Oh, yeah, he's great, but I can't say the best for anybody. Except for me.
Oh.
So I'm the best at everything.
Wow.
Including sucking.
Wow.
Because my player is a scrub.
We're all scrub. Like, I'm
getting outscored by a rookie.
Yeah. Well, I'm still, like, my player's still pretty good, and I'm always complaining, so you always want to do better.
I'm getting outscored by a rookie, and I get more time than him. I just don't understand.
And you're an offensive defenseman, right?
A two-way, but
Two-way,
it's
okay.
more offensive-minded.
Okay, so, like, Simon T, I guess.
Yeah, it hates me. I mean, I'll do some sims where I'll get like 40 points, and then I'll do another sim and I'll get like 18, and I'm like, why is there such a vast difference?
Yeah.
I even did a sim where like all my stats were at like 99, except for like passing and
really?
skating, which were lower. That way they wouldn't factor into me shooting first, and I still only scored like 35 points.
My God. But this is something, like, it's because everything is related to the decision your player is making, and everything is compared to the other teams, like, for the goalie and everything, so it's, like, getting really hard to understand exactly how it works and how to make it totally better.
Yeah. Alright.
Okay.
Next up is Infidel. Which player or players are surprising you most at this point in the season?
I will be BS and say that Claude McCarthy and Ted Glass are really surprising me. Those are the two defensemen in my team that are were at least leading scorer for a big while of the time. And as far as I remember, they are not cap. So they are not cap. So it's really impressive to see them perform that much.
For me, I think I have to go with Forsberg for PGF. 51 points already. That's just insane, considering he didn't have near that many last season. And we didn't have anybody get near that. I think the most we had last season was 49, and he's still got 12 games to go.
Yeah.
Plus, he's got 69 penalty minutes on top of it. I'm like, how can you score that much and stay in the box?
No. Even I, when I was looking at it, I was like, how the fuck does he get so many points? I don't get it. I guess Simon T must really like him.
He's doing something right.
Yeah. He has 51 points, 69 penalty minute. He gave 149 hit. It's what the hell are you feeding this guy?
And Dyna's, Artemis's player, 46 points up there, 23 goals. They've both been insane for PGF.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's all they have is that first line, and then their top 2D, and then
everything else falling through.
Yeah, it falls off a steep cliff, so they're so top heavy.
So probably in the, like one or like if it's not next season, like the next after when everyone's gonna leave at the same time will be really rough. I don't wish that for them.
All right, next up. If you could make an impactful trade right now, who would it be for and who would you trade? Applies to any team you want to use as an example.
I absolutely don't know.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, y'all have made a lot of trades. So I wouldn't even be able to think of one that y'all would be able to make.
Yeah, because it's really hard to know what would actually work. Because like we did a, in my opinion, good trade by trading for Fletcher Carrick and like Ahmani Vili, I think.
Yeah.
And it's actually not that helpful right now. Because Vili is creating way more penalty that we were used to take, which is part of the game, but it's like, can you stop, please? Like, I don't want you to spend the time in the box and putting us on the penalty kill.
Yeah, I wasn't too nonplussed about him leaving. Like, it didn't bother me at all.
Yeah.
So when I saw y'all traded for him, I was like, well.
Well, Carrick is really like, I think it will be really helpful down the road, but
yeah, that's good center depth for for the playoffs and whatnot. So.
But Vili is one of them. I'm like, right now, I'm not sure it was worth it.
It's probably more of just finding how to use them properly.
Most likely.
I mean, y'all had Trucker last season who plays a very similar style, so.
Yeah. But Trucker was on the first pairing and not the last one, so I guess it could have made a difference.
Yeah, it could. I mean, that's what it says. I wouldn't play Vili first pairing ever. But, you know, it's got to be something that works with him. I just don't know what. Alrighty. For us, trade-wise, I mean, this is any team. I can't think of any other teams. I don't know what we can do because we're kind of in a spot where we're winning enough that I don't think we want to really sell anymore. But we don't really have a good shot, or at least not as good a shot as like 3 or 4 other teams at the Cup. So it's like, why do you want to hold on to some of your expiring players that are getting called up or something like that? So it's a real tough spot. It's like, do we sell some of our players that we know are gone for the future, or do we keep them and hope that maybe we can make some kind of run in the playoffs?
Yeah, it's a tough spot to be
in. And I don't know. I don't envy Joe in this situation because I couldn't make a call either way.
Yeah, at the end of the day, probably the call would be make the run with what you have and not really trade at this point. Because it's such a situation where, well, the trade deadline is Sunday, so in 2 days. So you have, like, let's say 4 more games to play, or 5 maybe. And, like, you could still be in that position where I could make the playoff, but I also couldn't miss them. So do I really want to compromise my team right now? Because making the playoff, everything can happen. So we saw in the past in the league some 8-seed team win the cup. So it's really about the matter of, like, at this point, if I'm the playoff, like, I did good to not change anything. So, like, doing trade at this point is really, like, I don't know. I want to.
Yes. Do not know where to go with that one, to be honest. If in my spot, if it was me, I don't think we do have a legitimate shot. I would probably wait till Sunday and trade them off. That way we get as many games in with them as we can to still try and make the playoffs. But then we get future and we can see if we can make something happen with lesser players. Or not lesser players, but, you know, other players moving into their spots. We do have a few capped players on lower lines that we could move up,
Yeah,
kind of
that's
thing.
true. So yeah, I could see.
It's a tough call.
I can agree. Like, each time I'm thinking, like, yeah, I want to be GM, and I'm like, but I don't want to do trades. Like, I don't want to deal with that.
Trades would be one of the most fun parts of being a GM, but also one of the most stressful by far. And
Yeah.
like, I would love to negotiate, but it would be so hard to let go of players and be like, oh yeah, just give me a pick and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, like, when you become a GM, you have to let go of any emotional valor. Like,
Yeah, I mean, your
it's
players
a player.
are your friends, kind of, so you're like, I don't want to trade my friend away, but I want to help the team.
So, yeah. Like, at this point, what I want to, like, find is, like, being the social GM, like someone who will take care of the player and everything and not deal with the trade.
Yeah, like a assistant co-GM.
Yeah, that's it. Like just making sure everyone's fine and well, actually that's team captain at this point. Oh god, I don't want to do trade, so maybe I will forget being GM one day.
All right, and last question is, how do you think the playoff picture will change before the season ends?
I think we touched already a bit of it, but like if we go with what can change, a lot. I honestly don't think Montreal will make it. That's the
Yeah, I
only
think
thing
they're
I'm
the
pretty
guaranteed to
sure.
miss. I'm not guaranteed, but in my mind, guaranteed.
Yeah.
Definitely not for sure, but
And then, depending how it goes, like, any of the last three could not make it. Like, like St. Louis, Kelowna, and Detroit couldn't miss it.
I would put PGF in there too because of their streakiness.
Yeah, like, if they can get the bad streak at the bad time, they could fall, but I was like, they still have, like, a few points over, like, the rest of them, so I really don't know. Like, everything is so close. Like, the only one I'm not seeing falling is Vancouver at this point. They have not clinched yet, but I would not be surprised they clinch before the, like, early after the trade, early next week or something.
They have 11 points on 7th place with 12 games left, so like 6 more games if they keep up the pace.
Yeah,
they'll clinch.
So yeah, early next week.
Yeah. If they keep it up. I mean,
and
everybody's been so
losing.
Oh no, yeah, well, thinking of that, Montreal's 15 points back, but they have to get ahead of 7th, I think, to clinch, not 8th.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not exactly sure, but at the same time, if Montreal is eliminated, like, it's sure Vancouver will clinch. So.
Well, Montreal's only 5 points behind 6th, so they'll probably get eliminated after.
Yeah, that's the only thing. Like,
last couple days, kind of thing.
So close. Everything's so close.
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting week for sure. Can't believe the season's already almost done.
Yeah, I know. I still haven't finished my letter of marque, and now at this point, I'm like, fuck. Like, season 36 is almost over, and I need to do season 35 stuff. So I'm like, maybe I won't finish them.
Yeah, probably best just to let it go.
Yeah. So I'm just like, well, I was so close, but so far.
All right. Next up is Clint, and his first question is thoughts on the most recent Portland trades.
Let me go get it, because I've closed it, because it seems I'm dumb.
Yeah, alright. So I know one of the trades was the one with Winnipeg, I think.
Yeah, one with Winnipeg and one with Buffalo, I think. No.
Yeah, that one was... They did one with Buffalo, like... No, that was from last... Where are they at?
Okay, process transaction.
Yeah, up there. There it is.
So Portland and Seattle, and Portland and Winnipeg.
Yeah. All right. I got Portland and Seattle at first.
So Portland received their first that they traded away, I guess. So they went to get their pick back. They received Anton Fedorov, Blake Sherrill, and the Seattle received Lundberg, Reed, Sirius, and a conditional season 39 second. So if Lundberg resign with Seattle, they don't get the conditional second. And if Lundberg is traded before season 39, the pick become third. Oh, that's a lot of condition on that pick.
Yeah, so much going on.
So it's a good move that like Portland went to get back their pick. However, I'll be honest, I don't know what they paid for it because I have no clue of the value of those players.
Yeah, this is what I told Clint, is I don't know any of these people anyways. And it's no offense to them, I just haven't been here long enough to really learn everybody.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, it's not that we don't want, we just don't know.
Yeah, so it's like, I mean, I'm sure it looks good for Portland and they're rebuilding this, but I have no idea.
Like, I'm actually curious, like, this Lundberg, because you have a conditional pick if he sign again. So Lundberg is on the riot, and he had a total of 24 points this season in 38 games, so it's not that bad. I don't know, however, if it's a young player or not. So
yeah, pretty much. I mean, there's so much behind the scenes on this. I have no idea.
But like, what I can say is it's a good move for Portland to go get their first back. Like, especially since they pretty much will need to rebuild.
Yeah. And then the second trade with Minnesota. Yeah.
It's not the Winnipeg one?
No, I think that Winnipeg one's old. Minnesota one was from yesterday.
Well, I see the Winnipeg one from yesterday too.
Is there another one?
It's so complicated.
And there's Portland and Manchester. Wow.
Manchester. Oh my god, there's so many trades from Portland. What the fuck? No, that's August 29th. Oh man. Clint, I have no clue.
Like a couple days ago, yeah. You know what? I'm going to sum this all up in one sentence. I don't know any of them anyways, so I'm going to assume that Portland's rebuilding, and it's good for them, and it's good for the other team because they're getting people that could potentially push them in the playoffs. I don't know.
Yeah, that's. I'm like, it looks good, Clint. It looks good.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, you're on the team, you would know better, bud.
Don't ask us. Like, maybe in a few years we'll be able to answer those kind of questions. Right now, I'm just like, I have no clue.
Meh.
I know season 36 people. I know season 37 people. Everyone above that, I'm just like, I don't know them.
Yeah, it's random. It's random if I know them or not, if I've actually dealt with them.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Alright, thoughts on Cloud McCarthy and Ted Glass's performance? Our phenomenal season so far.
They're amazing. Like, I think personally they have a good chemistry between them. Like, their player is really working well. We actually never moved them off where they are right now. So I don't know if, like, it can help, but, like, if it was a real hockey thing, like, they would definitely have chemistry going on between them.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say they're not playing well. I mean, the points are going to be up there because of how stacked the team is, and on top of that, Glass is getting like 24 minutes a night.
Oh, they're both getting high minutes a night, I think.
Yeah, which, I mean,
on the same line.
Minutes doesn't mean everything, because Mueller, Danny's players got 19 points and he's getting almost 25 minutes.
Yeah.
So it doesn't mean everything, but I think it helps, especially on that a team as stacked as y'all are, especially the top lines.
But yeah, really like those two players. They are playing great, and I like that they're getting like some more exposure this season compared to last year. And it's important to remember they're not even capped, so they might be playing even better after.
Or worse, you never know with STHS.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like put 1 point on the wrong stat and you're screwed forever.
Exactly. I know there's something wrong with my build, and I just can't figure it out.
Yeah, at this point I'm just like, whatever. I'll live with it because next player will be better.
Yeah, I'll try some redistribution next season and play with it and see if I can figure it out. Probably do sims with different stats in and see if I can get something working.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I just don't want to pay to change it, so I'm just like, I'll live with it. It's fine.
Yeah, it's not that much.
In 2 years I'll be better.
Basically.
What do you
It's
think?
juniors.
Yeah, that too. Like, I don't care about juniors at this point. Like, it would be nice to get a cup, but if I don't, it's like, well, it's juniors.
Alright, what do you think of the most recent St. Louis Halifax deal? We covered that when we were talking about trades.
Sorry, Clint.
As proven in the Season 36 draft, estimated draft positions can change at the snap of the finger. However, who in general do you think are solid prospects?
So I guess it's talking about the Season 37 prospects.
Yeah.
Antanis would be a good one. The Taylor's brother, except Barbie, would be good.
Yeah, I'd say the two of them.
Except that Bojo will be a good one because it's Bojo.
But he's automatically drafted. So.
Oh yeah, that's true. He doesn't even have to go by the draft. Jamie will be a one to, like, I don't know how she grows her player, but like if she did, like, she would be a one to keep an eye on. Bento Evento Silencious is really great.
Yeah, I think all the recreates are definitely gonna go high, and then you have on Tannis and the two Tanners will be the three to sneak in there and could mix in with them like 4 or 5 recreates that aren't getting automatically drafted.
Yeah,
so like J May and Rain and Lease Forever.
Yeah, that's true. Like pretty much all that one I would see draft high. I don't know that much whose else is. I would have said Brum, but that's not the case anymore.
Yeah, he's gone. I think Ferrix would make it in there. He's really active, but he's a goalie, so I'm not sure which teams need one kind of thing. And I think that's going to be more drafted on positional need more than the player being active.
Yeah, especially for a goalie position, like, because that's the sad part about a sim league is that, like, the position of goalie, it's like, well, no one's really need you, I guess.
I mean, eventually they will, but it just kind of sucks because you kind of sit there and just earn a bunch of TPE and never get to really check your stats.
Yeah, and you play like 4 years in junior, like 4-4.
Yeah, and then go up, and then you're backing up somebody for
6 games.
A while, yeah. And unless you get lucky, like Wagner did for Hamilton, and they needed a goalie, so he's playing right off the bat. So he gets to see himself play, which is nice, but
he's probably is he getting?
He's actually doing pretty decent.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not doing like phenomenal, like top in the league, but I mean he's doing great for his TPE level, that's for sure.
Oh, that's nice then. I'm really happy for him.
Couldn't do it in St. Louis, but he can do it there.
So next question is, when or if you guys recreate, what position and player type would you be if you were to do it right now? So on my part, I will recreate. Like, I absolutely see no reason to not recreate. Like, I know it's 2 years away, but I'm really enjoying my time here in 6 months, and it's one of the few type of game, I would say, that managed to keep my attention for more than a month. So I don't see me leave anytime soon, except if I'm forced to. So my player will most likely be a defenseman, and I will most likely be like, uh, that's what I'm thinking right now. So I don't know if that's gonna be the case at that point, but a type of like playmaker, physical defenseman that will just like hunt you down and hit you. Like, so high checking probably and high like passing.
Yeah, more like a defensive D-man.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually that. A defensive demon.
And I'm gonna do the opposite. Basically, we're gonna flip flop. I was thinking
Yeah.
forward. I made a center in GeoMHL because I wanted to test that out. I'm not really caring for it so much right now, so probably won't do that when I recreate now and go one of the wing positions.
But yeah, at the same time, like, I find that something really sad to an extent that, like, center, you have a category you're kind of forced to put TP in, which is your face-off, that no one else really need to do it.
And to an extent, strength. If you want to win your face-offs, you need to put some in there, and you don't need to put as much. I mean, you don't have to put a ton in there either, anyways. But like in my D build, I didn't put strength in until the end. I neglected that until I was getting close to capped.
So like this is something I find really sad about the centers. Like I thought about doing one, and then I was like, yeah, but this is like category I will need to spend face-off point without having a say in it.
Yeah.
So you're kind of expected to win your face-off.
And like my center, I ended up, because I didn't think I would do much offensively, I basically went high face-offs and strength and passing and defense.
And you won Rookie of the Year.
And I won Rookie of the Year, but I was getting like more ice time than any player on my team because I was getting double shifted.
Oh god. Yeah.
So I mean that's the only reason why. Trust me, because I don't even have near as many points this season already, and I'm getting as much ice time. It's just there's a lot I need to work on that build, for sure. And I think it would be different over here with the TPE differences and stuff. But at the same time, I just don't know if I want to. I'm defense already on here, so I don't know if I want to be a more defensive-minded player again and not really get the points. I'd rather.
Yeah. Well, I thought about switching my player to like Fletcher to a two-way forward. Because I was already having high defense and I wanted to make a more playmaker type. And then I realized that I could actually not do that without paying fortune. Like, I know it's 12 million to change your archetype, but that's not even changing the TPE. So it's 12 million to just change your build, not the TPE. So I was like, what the fuck? Like, I don't want to pay millions to do this and take 5 seasons to switch my TP around, so I was like, never mind. Because it's another thing that I was like, I don't mind about my player point if my player is not built to make points. Like, if I have to focus on something else, like on a two-way forward, my goal would be to have a like good defense, not get scored on more, and like all that kind of stuff. But I could not do it because I didn't want to spend the money on it.
Yeah, definitely. I would think for mine, I might go offensive forward just because I never see anybody use that type. Everybody's always power forward, two-way forward, sniper. And then the occasional playmaker. And I never see an offensive forward, so it'd probably be something I would do just because it's different. Though it's very much similar to a two-way forward anyways, and the strengths and weaknesses I would choose would probably be similar. But it's something, at least I know it's looking different.
Yeah, that's true. Like, oh, he's a power forward, not the offensive forward. Yeah, not a two-way player. So it's different.
Yeah. All right. Any goals for your future in the site? Do you want to be a GM, coach, or take over Eggy's position as commissioner? Just some examples.
Well, you did mention, like, maybe wanting GM. The more I think about it, personally, I don't want it. I want, but I don't.
It's something I want way down the line, but it's not something. Not GM of like SMJHL or SHL team, especially not SHL team, not anytime soon. A SMJHL team maybe like 4 or 5 seasons or something like that when I get a more tight hold on how everything works. And I definitely want to be a mentor for a while, so it's not something I'm looking forward to giving up.
Yeah.
I mean, I could become an SHL GM and still do it, but I don't want to skip the SMJHL step. And I don't even know if I would get hired on the SHL end without being a GM in the SMJHL before.
Or at least having experience in any GM position.
Yeah. So. I'll work on that best I can. I was a fantasy GM, but that went down with tube.
CK! fucking CK, man. My goal, I want less and less to be a GM. I absolutely despise the coaching position. I did that on another league at the PHL, which is basically just making the line, and it was awful. Like, I didn't enjoy it. I was actually not having fun at all, and I almost quit. So, well, I quit the coach position, by the way. So I absolutely don't want to do that here. I don't think I want to be commissioner, but something that would interest me is to get a scout role with my SHL team. Like head of scout or something with the SHL as well. Except that I'm pretty pleased with what I have. Like my million jobs I already have.
Yeah, I mean, my 2 jobs are enough.
Yeah, I have like 5, I think, at this point.
But my 2 pay more than all of yours combined.
Yeah, that's true. Because I have a lot of free one, and I'm sad now.
Yeah, like I made 10 million last season for updates.
Yeah, I did. I had, I think, 1.5 million. But now the banker position will actually, like, pay me good. So.
What's the pay you get for that?
I think it's close to 5 million if you get, like, everything in order.
Oh, okay.
Like, it's 3.5 and a 1.5 bonus or something if you do your job.
Okay. For a mentor, I think we make like between 2.5 and 3.5 million, and then there's potential for bonuses or something like that. Which, like, if I got 3 million, I'd be happy. So.
Yeah, that's pretty good then. Like, and I actually did, like, this season I helped Teggy with the play-by-play director, so I got a 5 million right there. So, for both seasons. So, maybe something also, PB, play-by-play director. Could be interesting. Trying to rework the system, because it's fucking broken right now. So, I don't like it. Especially when I see after, like, people getting screwed over, like, play-by-play that should have happened because beer accident.
Some kind of drink accident.
Yeah, any kind of, like, fucking liquid on a laptop.
Yeah. Yeah, I got screwed firsthand from that. But, is what it is. Just go forward. Forget it. Have fun.
Yeah. Okay, next question. What's your thoughts on 4-4's performance? Well, they're good, but that's what happened when you have a strong rooster in front of you. Like, most of, like, everything depends on the goaler. He's not, like, I don't even think he's the best of the league, though. But, like, he's way better this year because Halifax is way better this year.
He is top in the league now,
yeah.
safe.
Really close, though.
But yeah, it's super close. And I mean, like, J-Bay's right behind him, and she's not even close to cap. So, it really just depends on the team. I think a lot. Kelowna's got strong defense, so it's helping their goalie out. Vancouver's defense took a hit, and look at Murray this season. They're still winning, but he was top in the league by far, won MVP and all that. And now
he's last in the league. What the fuck?
Yeah.
MVP because of his team. Pretty much.
So a lot of times the goalie's performances are based a lot on the team, and
yeah, and 4-4 is way better than, like, Halifax is way better than this year, so 4-4 is better this year.
Yeah, and your defense has a lot of capped players, including one that was on Vancouver, so...
Yeah, that's true.
So I think that definitely helps and hurts. It's good for 4-4, though, because he's played on some crappy Halifax teams the past few seasons, so it's good for him to get some success.
Maybe goalie of the year. Maybe.
It's possible. Alright.
Who's your next guest? I absolutely have no clue.
Yeah.
Someone.
Every time, I mean, there hasn't been hardly anybody that's came directly to us and said, I want to be guest. So it's hard to keep a list of exactly everybody. Yeah. I mean, I know for a fact some.
Like, even if you already mention it to us, you should come again just to make sure we actually put you on the list. Because there are some that we're like, I think this one won it, but I'm not too sure. So, like, if you actually want it, like, come talk to DDZ. Like, he's keeping the list.
Yeah, and also, it's hard to schedule stuff. Because a lot of times, like, this week, it was very last minute, and that's why we just didn't do a guest at all. Instead of trying to be like, hey, can you do it? Okay, no, then we have to move to the next down the list, and the next one down the list, and it just gets tedious. And it was easier just to skip it this week and try and get a schedule going, but it's going to be a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, if I'm being honest, we might do more a thing of like occasional guests than regular guests. So it's more easier for us, and like once in a while we're gonna take someone on the podcast, that's sure. But like especially with like school and life happening, it might just happen that we don't have guests for a few weeks or something.
Yeah. And then next is hi TDZ, how's college? It's going. It's first week, so I mean first week's usually pretty easy, but because I'm so much further into my degree now, I mean I have one sophomore level class because I have to take it because it's a prereq for my minor. Other than that, everything I'm taking is junior and senior level, and it's not like, okay, here's an intro day. It was more like, here we go, we're going straight into notes. And
I hope you brought papers because you're just like, we're doing it.
Yeah, like today, I had 2 classes this morning. One class, I took like 5 pages of notes, and it's a 50-minute class. And the other class, I took like 4 pages.
My God.
And I write fairly small. So, and I didn't really skip any lines. So that's like full pages, and like.
I don't miss that.
I do and don't. Like, I was so ready to get back, and I'm not like upset that I'm back at all. But at the same time, my hand's already hurting because I haven't really written all summer. And I don't really like using a laptop in school because I feel like I don't retain the information as well if I'm just typing it. And if I'm writing it, I retain it a lot easier.
Yeah, because, like, especially for someone who uses a lot of computer, I feel like you just get natural to type on it. So you don't pay attention as much as what you type on.
You just hear the words coming in, and you're just typing exactly what you hear because you're fast enough to keep up. Where I think with writing it, I hear it, and then I gotta think about it and comprehend it how I can shorthand it and still make it know where I'm talking about.
Yeah, so like I can understand the little tips like that.
So, college is going. It's fun. It sucks at the same time because I don't like one of my classes, but I have to take it. but the other 3 classes are fun. So,
That's
and I
the
don't have
important
test
part.
in one.
Oh, nice. Nice. No test is always good.
Instead, we have group projects, which
Oh,
kind of
shit.
suck. There's 12 of us in the classroom though, so it's like I know everybody in there because they've all been in my major. Like, I've had the same classes with them for the past like 2 semesters.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's not like I'm uncomfortable doing group projects with them. I had numbers for some of them already, like in my phone. So, all right, and more trades. Sorry, Clint, I'm gonna skip your trades because
Well, it's in Edmonton and Seattle. We can answer really fast. It's only
I
one.
have Theo Kane going, but you know I just know about him from what Ace and Trello said.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
I don't even know if he's on the roster yet, or if he's still on Edmonton's.
He's
Still on Edmonton's. 40 points. So, I mean, that's definitely good for Seattle.
Yeah, they bring another like 40-point scorer, which make them at 4 now. So it should help them like if they gone for the cup run, which is surprising and not something I was expecting at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, but they also lost Stamkos Jr., who is fairly young, if I remember correctly.
Yes,
still.
yes. So that's a weird thing with that.
It's more of a win now kind of thing.
Which I would not have put them in that position before.
Yeah, so it's definitely going to be interesting. And he asked, does this make Seattle a cup contender or still more likely a victim of the Calgary buzzsaw? And I mean,
Calgary buzzsaw.
I don't really think it is as much a buzzsaw as it would have been a couple weeks ago. We're only 2 points up on Texas. I mean, we're definitely 7 points up on Seattle, and this will help them a little bit. It depends how our defense plays in the playoffs because we have the least goals against by far, so that's going to be the given. If our defense gives up a lot of shots on Wong and Wong starts letting some pucks in, then our offense is only as good as the best team's offense in the West. So
True.
Depends how that sim goes. And we very well could not play Seattle. We could end up against Winnipeg or Texas or even LA if they make some kind of run, which I don't know if they will. Or we could switch to Texas if they get ahead of us because we're only 2 points ahead.
Everything can still move, pretty much.
Yep. And our last question from C. Petrella. Thoughts on veal parm instead of Calgary's traditional chicken parm?
Yeah.
And veal parm is delicious. I mean, really any meat parm I'm good with. Veal's delicious even as horrifying of a thought it is because it's baby cows. And it's really like depressing, but it tastes really good. So I'm like,
but at the same time, like chicken, like it's depressing as well.
Yeah, it's all depressing. But I don't know. You think baby, and you're like, eh.
Oh no, I don't care. I'm gonna eat them anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm American. It's food. I'm gonna eat it. I love Italian food. Anything with marinara on it, I'm probably gonna eat it. Alfredo, any sauce really.
I'm actually not sure what a parm is, I'll be honest. I don't think I ever eat that.
Chicken parm is like chicken that's like thinned out, like they hammer it more flat.
Okay.
So it's super thin, and then they'll put it in like breadcrumbs.
Oh.
With I think there's usually like Parmesan mixed in with it.
Which makes sense with the name.
Yeah, and then they fry it. And they put Parmesan and mozzarella cheese on top of it and melt that, and red sauce, like marinara sauce, and put that on spaghetti.
Oh, I want that.
Or you can take the meat, like the chicken and the cheese and the sauce, and put it on like a sub, and you have a chicken parm sub, which is also delicious.
But why I never eat that in my life?
Well, it's like what I get every time I go to any Italian place.
Man,
So it's like destiny to go to Calgary, honestly.
yeah, I need to actually like taste that. Looks so good.
It's pretty good. Everywhere except Olive Garden. Olive Garden sucks.
I never went to Olive Garden, so I'm not gonna go there then.
Yeah. It's like Americanized Italian food that's meh.
Wow, that looks so good. Well, that was the last question, if I remember correctly.
Yep, that is it.
So, thank you very much, everyone, for the questions. It's always appreciated. I like I said before, I like those kind of podcasts because I feel like I'm more interacting with like the users. So,
Agreed.
thanks again.
Hopefully we can get a guest next week if we can figure out time and everything like that.
Logistic.
Yeah, so all the logistics, the schedules, and see if we can get free time with somebody on the list, hopefully going down the order. And we'll figure that out. Again, get us a private message or anything to let us know that you want to be on it.
Yep. So.
Alrighty.
So have a nice evening, everyone.
Yep. Good night, everybody.
And we'll see you next week.
Later.
Goodbye.